interrupt this moving broadcast.
We interrupt this moving broadcast to bring you more news about what's going on in my life.
That sounds so conceited, but like, you get it. Hey, what's up, Jazicality viewing
Squad.
Today is a sad day in the history of my life. Well, oh my god, it's so quiet. Like, I turned off the air conditioner so I can talk to you guys, but like, it's so quiet. Anyway, so all day I've been like thinking about things because yesterday something tragic happened, but we'll get into that part. I want to build it up. I want to tell you guys what's going on. I want to make you feel what I'm feeling, but not pain because ouch and ew. So I want to first start off because like I've been thinking all day. So I'm going to start off by telling you guys what I'm bad at, and that is picking up on sarcasm. My sarcasm radar is completely broken, except for sometimes when it actually works. So I can't pick up on sarcasm most of the time, but sometimes I do, and then people like don't believe that I knew that they were being sarcastic. It's just so weird. Okay, so like it all started in elementary school when I really had a crush on this guy. He was like 2 years older than me. And like he was like playing around with me, and like I knew, but my acting skills are so good that he thought that I was being serious, and like that was embarrassing. So I don't know exactly what happened. I can't really remember. I just like had this like thought in my head. So like I was walking down the school stairs into like this little like hallway area, and like he was like patrolling the doors because we had like people who watched the doors as kids were going out, and like kids patrol for kids, which is probably dangerous, but like so I was standing there because I was one of the patrol people, and he was too, and I was like, oh my gosh, like let's call him I don't know what to call him. Let's call him Peter. Okay, so I'm Jasmine, he's Peter, obviously. Jasmine, come on. So I'm standing at a door. So what is his name again? Peter, that's what it is. Okay. Oh my god. So Peter comes up to me and he's like, hey Jasmine, you suck. And I pretended to cry. I was like, and then he goes like, it was just a joke. And he walks away, and I'm like, oh my god, he didn't know that I knew that he was kidding. And so like that's basically how my whole life is. Just like people not knowing that I understand them, but like also me not understanding that they're being sarcastic. So frustrating. Anyway, so I don't know why I wanted to tell you guys that. I guess I just want you to like know me a little bit more, because like, so let's get into the real story, the real tea, right? I recently got a bike. I'll just show you. There it is. There she is. And I also recently moved, but okay. So I got a bike, and I was all like really excited for it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have a bike, I can get around. I don't need my license right now, even though I really do. But yeah, so I got a bike, and I was really excited about it. But then I realized that bike life is not easy, okay? I went to work with my bike for the first day. I got it from Target. So I'm riding it home from work, and I was on Nicollet in Minnesota, because I live in Minnesota, and there's like not a bike lane on Nicollet as of right now because there's construction or something like that. So I'm at a stoplight because I'm like obeying the law. I'm obeying the law. And there's this bus behind me, and it starts like honking, and I didn't know why because I can't read the mind of a honk. Anyway, so I'm on the right side of the bus, like I'm on the right side. I don't know if it was like telling me to, okay, I don't know if it was like telling me to go or like whatever, but like I start biking, and I'm a new biker. I'm not like a pro. I'm not like these people who are riding bikes and professional bike riders who can ride at the speed of a car driving. Like I'm not there yet. I just started, and that's like,
Oh, whatever.
so anyway, I'm in front of the bus. So I'm in front of the bus, and the light turns green. So I start biking because like I'm under the impression that you're not supposed to be on the sidewalk with your bike. So like I'm like, I have to be in the street. So the light turns green. Again, sorry. the light turns green. I start biking. I'm like going as fast as I possibly can, and the bus keeps honking at me, and speeds up, forcing me to go onto the sidewalk, almost falling down and almost going into a tree. Like, yeah, it's almost, but like seriously, I was this close to hitting a tree, and I kept my cool and I kept my balance. But like, that's not cool. Like, overall, like, that's not cool. Like, you're not supposed to do that. And I was looking up the laws and all that because people kept telling me to look up the laws, and it says nobody has the right of way in that situation, like, but the person on the right side gets the right of way, and they just, I guess they just had somewhere to be, so that kind of sucked. But like, I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, was this my fault? Like, I don't know, I always think everything's my fault, and like parts of it maybe I should have gone before, like, but this is so, like, there's no like black and white like with this kind of stuff, because after this happened to me, I was super upset. Like, I was upset about it, and I started thinking like was I wrong? Like, of course I didn't at that moment look up the laws. I'm so whatever. I posted about it on Facebook because I was super upset. Like, I could have been really hurt. Okay, I would have had to go to the hospital if I had hit that tree. Whatever. But I started thinking like back to when I was on a bus and there was a bicyclist in front of the bus, and like I was thinking like, oh, that bicycle should get out of the way, like it's going too slow, like. And then like being the bicyclist, going too slow and then almost hitting a tree, I'm just like, oh, I was wrong to think that. But like, no, it's kind of just like different perceptions of like everything, and that's a big reason why I think there's so many fights in this world, just because nobody thinks about anybody else but what they're feeling and what it made them feel. And like today, I was riding my bike on the sidewalk because I was scared. Like, I didn't want to like get into something worse than like get hit by a car or whatever. So I was on the sidewalk, which at the time I'm just like, you know, whatever, like if I get ticketed, like I'd rather get ticketed than be in a situation where I die, you know, like yeah. And so I'm going on the sidewalk, everything's fine, but then I go on the street and there's this lady like walking in the middle of the sidewalk, and like I get it, like pedestrians have the right of way, and I was giving it to her. I was going like super slow, and then like I'm coming up to her and I'm just like, oh, sorry, like to let her know that I'm there. I should have been like, excuse me. And then she was just like, sorry. She's like, sorry. And then I keep going and I like feel bad, but I'm just like, whatever. And then she mumbles under her breath, that's where you're supposed to be, in the street. And I'm just like I was so mad, just because I'm just like, I was telling my friend earlier, I'm just like, you don't know my life, like you don't know this, but like I've also been in a situation where a biker has come up behind me and knew they could get past me, and they scared the crap out of me. And like I said the same thing, I was like, that's where you're supposed to be, in the street. But like when it happens to you, it's different, which is why I don't know, I'm just telling you guys about different vantage points that I've seen, and that like I can't even be mad at anyone except the bus driver. Like, come on. If I was a bus driver, everybody can say if, but like I really do honestly believe if I was a bus driver, I would not try to be running a bike over. Like, come on. Like, they're technically, to me, still a pedestrian. Like, they're not surrounded by a vehicle like you are, and it's just like, come on. Like, how far will you go? Like, even if you did have the right of way, if you killed me just because you wanted to get somewhere faster, like, what does that mean? You know? And so with all this being said, like, I'm also someone who cares too much, which I don't think is a bad thing, but like at the same time, a regular person would like have something happen to them and they would like forget about it in like a minute or like 10 seconds or whatever, but I keep things with me way too long, and I'll be thinking about it to the next day and like whatever, and it's just like, why am I torturing myself? But also, yeah, this is kind of just like a rant story, and like what I've learned in the past 72 hours. These last couple of days have just been like super hard, so I'm learning, I'm adulting. Fantastic. And like, on top of that, like, my Christmas lights keep falling down. They're just like telling me like, it's too early for Christmas. It's never too early for Christmas. There's like a little review of my apartment. I really love it. It's super bright and it makes me super happy, and I've been super motivated, and I really like it so far. And like the next video you guys will see is me moving into my apartment, and then the next video after that, whenever I can, like, well, it won't be like right after, but I will do like an apartment tour after I like decorate and everything. I'm hoping to get a futon and some fake plants. Be looking out for those things. And I'm also like, I asked Instagrammers if I should do an EP or a single. True or false? True or false? More people wanted singles, so I think I'm gonna do singles, and I have a lot of things coming out, so stay tuned, and thank you guys so much for watching. I promise the next video is gonna be less depressed. Hey guys, just a little bit of an update. I called the Metro Transit station and I told them exactly where I was and like what time it was, and they told me that on Nicollet, like, buses aren't supposed to be going faster than like 15 miles per hour. So she said either way, like, I wasn't in the wrong to be on the right side of the street biking, because even though there's no bike lane, the bus shouldn't have been going as fast as it was, honking. She said like basically what I was thinking, like, it was harassing me, like, what do you mean, like, I'm supposed to be on the street, like, just as much as you are. I'm sorry, I'm not a professional driver, but like, she really made me feel confident. Like, I told her like my worries, and like I was asking about the rules, like, am I supposed to be on the street, like, can I be here? And she actually told me like 2 more streets that like you're like absolutely not supposed to bike on, which is really cool. So like, I'm not gonna bike on those like ever. So thank you. I didn't catch her name, but she was really super sweet, and like, thank you so much. I get really scared about these things, like calling people, because like a year ago, like literally a year ago, I called Comcast to like get some help because I moved and I wasn't able to see my bills online because somebody messed up. So I called and this woman picked up the phone, and I was wrong because I immediately started like just complaining. I'm just like, because I couldn't see my bill, so every time I looked at it, it said 0, and then time got away from me, and they like gave me this like $10 charge, and I was just like, that's not fair. So I called them, and I'm just like, hi, is there any, like, I start out, I'm just like, hi, is there any way that you can help me see my bill, because I don't think it's fair that I can't even see it and I'm getting charged a $10 fee. And then so she just got like defensive, which I don't blame her for, and like, it was just really uncomfortable. So I ended up hanging up because like after a while she wouldn't even let me speak, because of course I probably just seemed like this upset customer and like spoiled brat, and like, I get it, but like, I ended up not being able to see my Xfinity bill because of that experience, and it was completely my fault. Like, I understand, but I did recently call Comcast, and now I can see my bill again, so I'm like growing. But like, this time when I called the Metro Transit, although I was upset, I remembered that experience, and this time I just went in full of just like, am I wrong? Like, how could I change this? How could I fix what happened? And so that's really important for me, like, to see how much I've grown, and to not like come at people like, oh, like, this is your fault, like, this is your problem, because like, it's not, like, they didn't do anything to me. And so like, when you're calling people, like when you're dealing with people, when you're like meeting people for the first time, whatever, like, if you have a problem with them and they're in a certain position where they have to help people no matter what, like customer service, whatever, don't personally attack someone because of someone else's mess up. And that's something that I had to learn. So like, and like talking about it, just like talking it out, realizing that like I messed up, and like being able to admit that is something that is so good for me, and like good for anybody, just to like admit that you messed up and that you've grown from it. It's just, it's like good. It's not cool, it kind of makes me feel like bad, but like what, like whatever. But like, to like, just to see, because like back then, like when I was still in that position, I'm just like, oh, they were so mad, I mean, they were so rude to me, like this isn't fair, like, forget about Comcast. But like, no, like, it was just wrong. Like, I don't know if I sounded as bad as like I remember, but like, I was having a bad day already. Like, I was having an anxiety attack. Like, I couldn't go to work that day, I had to call off, it was awful. But yeah, I have some fears when it comes to like going on phone calls, just because I kind of like get angry, because I blame my parents, because like they just go off, and like Like, I just have to be careful, like, not to be like that. Like, no offense, mom and dad, but, like, you guys go off. Like, Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, report things that happen, even if you have anxiety about phone calls, or, like, you're just, like, scared to do it. Like, doing this phone call and, like, doing it with maturity and just, like, telling people what happened, taking a breath, taking time to see, like what they're gonna say is very important. Even if you, like, sense a tone or whatever, like, just take that time to take a breath and just, like, hear them out. I'm changing, I'm growing, and I really appreciate growing, and I want you guys to grow with me. So be the change you wish to see in the world. Gandhi. Peace out. Love you guys. Bye.